it's about time for another video here on A Vlogs. It's probably the most excited I've been to make a movie. Wow, movie! I think I've had like 2-3 cups of coffee. Gumalaw yung camera. Feeling ko talaga yung senses ko, my AVRAM senses are like, hindi siya tingling eh. It's like hyperventilating. But then I'm excited as in to make this video because I'll be talking about, well, I'm not going to be talking about the movie. I guess I'll be talking a bit more about music in this particular video of a recent, well, hindi siya recent. Hindi naman, well, nag-trend siya recently ulit. Okay, because Disney Plus just released their theatrical, no, it's not theatrical because it was just online. Their take, or no, not their take din eh. A movie based on the musical Hamilton.
This is Hamilton.
It's actually a somewhat live recording of a production that they did probably a few years ago because it was still the original cast members of Hamilton. So it featured Lin Manuel-Miranda playing the titular role of Alexander Hamilton, Philippa who played Eliza, and then the other cast members that were part of the original run. But I will be giving my thoughts and share them to all of you as to why you must be able to see Hamilton. Sad lang for us here in the Philippines because we don't have access to Hamilton via Disney Plus yet. We still have to wait for that. We have to wait. Disney have that subscription, whatever you call it, process here so that the Filipinos can subscribe to Disney Plus, because I know a lot of people would want to, and there are lots of great offerings that are on Disney Plus. But here are reasons why you should at least try to see Hamilton, especially live. Last year, it was sometime in May, we were able to travel to New York.
Concrete jungle where dreams are made of, nothing you can do.
Well, I only had two that I really wanted to see at first, which was Hamilton and Dear Evan Hansen. But because I knew Hamilton, because I knew Hamilton would be somewhat harder to get, I had to search online and purchase the tickets before we went to New York. And sadly, ang nakuha lang namin ticket was right after we arrived. So we arrived in New York City at 2 o'clock in the morning. The next day, roamed around a bit lang just to get accustomed again to the city and where we were. That specific location, yung hotel namin and all. And we had to check out how far the theater would be. But at night, so the next day mismo, we had to see Hamilton na. Because that was the only set of tickets that were available. And I'm so glad that we took that, that opportunity to buy the tickets beforehand. Because when we got there, let me remind you, that was May. Sometime May. Pagdating daw ng September pa yung next available show because they were fully booked from May up until September. So it was a brand new set of cast members yung sa Hamilton na napanood but I was blown away by just the sheer production. Of course, you have to listen to the songs and lyrics, which is quite different from other musicals. Karamihan kasi may other lines and they don't sing every single thing in some musicals. The only musical that I know that comes to my mind that almost sings every single song in that musical is Les Miserables. And Hamilton is the next one. So almost every scene and every line you have to listen to it properly because they sing or rap those particular lines. So the conversations are different. So you really have to be full on focus pag nandun ka. I think this is probably one of the best musicals for our generation yet. The mind of Lin Manuel-Miranda is on a different level.
Past patiently waiting the passionately snatching every expectation, every action's an act of creation.
The way that he innovates and creates a space wherein the next generation and my generation who grew up on R&B, hip-hop, raps, and all of that, he was able to entice and invite a new generation to Broadway. And not only that, he was able to cascade the message about history.
History has its eyes on you.
But it's just amazing how he was able to do that. And kumbaga, he was a teacher and theater master and rapper. Lahat na ginawa niya. He was able to pull in people to learn more about history in a nice, fun, new, exciting way. Hamilton basically is about the life of one of the founding fathers of the United States, Secretary of Treasury, Alexander Hamilton.
Alexander Hamilton. My name is Alexander Hamilton.
Basically talks about his journey from being an immigrant, how he was so hungry and so ready to be in the battlefield, and this was when Britain was still in a way occupying or was having a feud with the United States at that time, and it was following, or the story follows the way that America was built. It also talks about or tackles about love, fidelity, so many values, family. Talks about nation and pride, and there's so many themes that you just have to check it out. And for me, one of the best things about this musical is, of course, the music.
Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. I can know one thing in life I can control.
The lyrics are on another level. Each song is in a hip-hop feels, and most renap sila. But sobrang galing. It's packed with messages. I love how even Lin Manuel-Miranda played the role. It just showcases how great he is. For those who don't know who Lin Manuel-Miranda is, if you've seen Moana, the animated film from Disney, he wrote most of the songs there. And not only that, he was in another Disney film, which was Mary Poppins Returns. He was Jack the Lamplighter. So he's expanding, and he also did a musical entitled Into the Heights. So there's so much things that he's been doing, and he sings and raps in this musical. What's that now? You guys want to hear me rap? That's okay. For you to appreciate. Because to appreciate ko when I kept running out of breath, and I feel like I'm gonna run out of breath. But here goes. Drop the beat! This is from My Shot.
Hamilton's first big song in the show is called My Shot, and it is the biggest sort of meal in terms of lyrics. And if you can get through that, you've got the show.
Just the first verse. Okay, nakabahan. I'ma get a scholarship to King's College. I probably should've... I'ma get a scholarship to King's College. I probably should've bragged, but dag, I'm amazed and astonished. The problem is I got a lot of brains with no polish. I gotta holler just to be heard with every word. I drop knowledge, I'm a diamond in the rough. a shiny piece of coal, trying to reach my goal. My power of speech unimpeachable. Only 19, but my mind is older. These New York City streets get colder. A shoulder every burden, every disadvantage. I have learned to manage. I don't have a gun or brandish. I walk these streets famished. The planets, the fantasy, spark into a flame. But dang, it's getting dark. So let me spell out the name. I am the A-F-E-X-A-N-T-E-R. We are meant to be a colony that runs independently. Meanwhile, Britain keeps on us endlessly. Essentially, they tax us relentlessly. Then King George turns around and runs a spending spree. He ain't ever gonna set his descendants free. So there will be a revolution in this century. And to me, he says in parentheses. So don't be shocked when your history book mentions me. I will lay down my life if it sets us free. Eventually you'll see my ascendancy. And I'm not throwing away my shot. I'm not throwing away my shot. Yo, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm out of breath. I'm out of breath, y'all. Ooh. So much words, but the impact is amazing. So that is why you should watch Hamilton. But overall, this is definitely one that you don't want to miss, because it is, like I said it, and I'm gonna say it again, it's one of the best musical that we have in our generation today. That's a bold statement, but you need to try. It's on a different level, and it's really attuned to this generation. And even if the story and the context is in the United States, it's one that's very universal in themes. It's one that is very relatable. It is one that you definitely wouldn't want to miss your shot on. Get it? Because it's from gonna take. No. That's been another episode of A-Vlogs. I just ran out of breath. Thank you guys for watching this video. And don't forget that every day can be an adventure here on A-Vlogs.